Hello friends, in this video you will learn these 5 operators. They'll help you to unlock more coding power of conditional statements. And don't forget to code along with me when I show examples. It'll help you learn PHP much faster. Picture this. We have a warrior in a fantasy game. To kill a dragon, he needs a sword and a shield. If any of those items is missing, he'll be very dead very quickly. I'll start with creating a Boolean variable that indicates whether our warrior has a sword. Then I'm gonna create another variable for a shield. I set true when our hero has an item and false when an item is missing. So at the moment he has both items. Now I'm gonna write if, and as for conditions it's gonna be has sword and has shield. In this case, we'll echo you have defeated the dragon, else echo game over. Now this is what's called the logical AND operator. We use 2 ampersands to put it into the code. It checks 2 values, and if both of them are true, it returns true. If one of them or they both are false, it returns false. So in our case, it should return true, and the conditional statement should go this way and run the victory echo command. To test that, I'm gonna run the script. Well, it shows the message perfectly. Now I'm gonna take away the shield from our hero and set the variable to false. In this case, the AND operator should return false and the game over message should be displayed. Let's test that. Okay, this is what we have expected. I will also put all the possible value combinations on the screen, and the result the logical AND returns for every combination. As you can see, it returns true only in one case, and it's when both values are true. The values an operator takes are also called operands. The AND operator takes 2 operands, but there are also operators that take only one value. For example, the logical NOT operator, which we will discuss later in this video. And there are also operators that take 3 values. We will not discuss them in this video, but we will definitely do it later in this course. The operators that take only one value are also called unary operators. 2 values binary and 3 values ternary. PHP has more than 60 different operators, and they all follow the same basic process. Take 1, 2 or 3 values, operands, then perform some actions on those values, and then produce some kind of a result. Now I'm gonna create a new PHP script and call it logical or.php. Let's imagine another hypothetical situation. I'm playing an RPG game and I need to cross a river. And there are 2 bridges available. I can use any bridge as long as it's safe. To reflect it in code, I'll start with creating 2 variables that are responsible for bridge safety. When the bridge is safe, it's gonna be true, and false when it's unsafe. Now I'm gonna use the same old if, and as for conditions, it's gonna be stone bridge safe or wooden bridge safe. In this case, I'll echo you can cross the river, else echo you need to find another path. This is the logical OR operator. We use 2 pipes to put it into the code. It's a bit more laid back than the AND operator because it needs only one of 2 values to be true to give us true. And that's exactly what I have right now. So I should see the message that I'm allowed to cross the river. Let's test that real quick. Good. Now I'm gonna make the stone bridge unsafe. In this case, 2 operands are false, and the OR operator should return false. I'm gonna run the script to confirm that, and indeed you can see the correct message. Now here is the table for all possible value combinations. As you can see, it returns false in only one case, and it's when both values are false. Next, I'm gonna create a new script for the next operator and call it logical not.php. Imagine this, I've got a healing potion, and if the potion is not expired, I could drink it. To reflect that in code, let's create a variable and name it is healing potion expired. It's not expired, so I'll assign false. Then I'll use if, and for conditions, I'm gonna say not is healing potion expired, then echo you have restored 7 hit points, else echo your health is low. So this is the logical not operator. We use an exclamation mark to put it into the code. It works like a switch, so it flips true to false and false to true. Also notice that it takes only one value, so it's an unary operator. At this point, our variable holds false, so the not operator should give us true. And if I run the script, you can see that 7 hit points message. Let me expire the healing potion. In this case, the not operator should flip true to false, and PHP should execute the else statement. Indeed, and now we have that low HP message. So far, we've discussed 3 logical operators. PHP has 3 more. These first 2 are alternatives to logical AND and logical OR that we've discussed earlier. The only difference is they have lower priority or precedence. It means they're sometimes executed in different and non-obvious order, which often leads to confusion and bugs in code. From the experience, I recommend that you skip them altogether and stick to using their higher precedence versions. You'll probably never use XOR, so I recommend that we don't waste our time and skip the operator. Now, these were what's called logical operators. They're called logical because they're based on the principles of Boolean logic. They allow us to build complex conditional statements. You can think of them as some kind of glue that allows us to combine multiple simple criteria into a bigger and more complex one. There is another group of operators. It's called comparison operators. As their name implies, they're used to compare two values or expressions. The result of a comparison is a Boolean value, either true or false, depending on whether the comparison condition is met. We will start with the identical operator. For that, I'm going to create a new script and name it identical.php. Now imagine I have a key and I want to check whether it can open an entrance to a dungeon. For that, I'll create 2 variables. The first one is key. I'll assign it obsidian. The second one is entrance lock, which will be arcane. Next, I'll use if, and I will compare key with entrance lock. When they are identical, I want to echo you may enter the dungeon. When they are not, I want to echo you have the wrong key. This is the identical comparison operator. We use 3 equal signs to put it into the code. It compares two values and their data types. When both data types and values are equal, it returns true. In other cases, false. In our case, both variables are strings, so the data types are equal, but their values are not. That's why the operator should return false and we should see the wrong key message. I'm going to run the script, and indeed, here is the message. This was an example where the data types are equal, but their values are not equal. You can have the opposite case. Let me show you real quick. I'll change the lock to be the true string and the key to be the true Boolean. Here, the values are equal because true is equal to true, but their data types are not equal. The key variable is a Boolean and the lock variable is a string. If I refresh the page, we still have the wrong key message. Now, I'll set the key and lock to arcane. In this case, both data types and values are equal. So the identical operator should return true, and we should see the may enter message. Let's test that. Perfect. Also, this operator has a partner, the not identical operator. It returns true when either data types or values are not equal. So if I use it here instead, we should see the wrong key message. Yes, indeed. And if I change the key to obsidian, then the values are not equal. The operator returns true and we have the success message. Now earlier I said that Boolean operators allow us to combine multiple simple expressions to build more complex conditional statements. Let's try to use the operators we've discussed so far to do that. I'll start with creating another PHP file that I'm going to call complexconditions.php. Imagine I'm playing Baldur's Gate and I want to buy a shield. For that, I need to have at least 50 coins and a merchant must have that shield. To reflect that in code, I'll start with creating a few variables. My coins, and it's going to be 55. Shield price, which is 50 coins. And the last variable will be is shield available, which is false. So the shield is not available. Then I'll go ahead and write if. And to start creating our complex condition, I'll write my coins greater than shield price. Then I'm going to put or my coins identical to shield price. This or joins these two expressions together. Next, I'm going to write and is shield available. Now we have these 3 little criteria joined together with logical or and logical and into one complex condition. And when this complex condition is met, I want to echo you have enough coins to buy the shield. Else, echo, you cannot buy the shield. Now at this point, the shield is unavailable. So you'd probably expect that this little echo will be executed and we'll see the enough coins message. But if I run the script, It's actually quite the opposite, which may seem a bit unexpected. This happens because of the so-called operator precedence, which determines how operators group together, and then the order operations occur. This is an operator precedence table from the PHP manual. The higher operator here, the higher precedence it has. So, according to this table, the AND operator has higher precedence than the OR. This basically means that PHP groups our operators like this. Let me add more space here to make it easier to read. So, it's my coins more than shield price, which is true, or this combined expression, which is false. This is where our shield availability is included. But because the first value the OR operator receives is true, this is enough for it to not take into account the remaining expression and just return true. This is why this condition is satisfied and we can see the enough coins message. We can fix that by using parentheses to change how operators are grouped together. So, if I change it to have parentheses like this, it should work as expected. Here I'm saying that I require my coins to be greater than or identical to shield price, and the shield must be available. Now if I run the script, we've got the correct message. It's a good practice in general to use parentheses to group expressions, because the code is more predictable and visually easier to understand. Even PHP guys in their manual ask not to rely on operator precedence because it may be changed in the future. So use parentheses for complex criteria and your code will be more robust. Now let's go over to practice. I've got 4 assignments for you today. They're optional but will be highly beneficial for you to complete. I will put them on the screen and you pause for the ones you want to try. Today we've gone through 2 from 10 comparison operators. In the next video I will cover these 5, and the spaceship operator I will explain a bit later, because it's a bit more of an advanced one and is primarily used for sorting. Also in the next video I will show you how to use several conditional statements in one script, which is pretty easy to do, and how to use nested conditional statements. So, see you in the next video.